Cool. Welcome, Rodrigo. I was going to say, but maybe you should say welcome.
Welcome, Jackie.
Thank you very much. Thank you for letting us host. Thank you for hosting us so we can host you in our podcast.
Okay. Welcome.
Cool. Yeah, I haven't prepared as much for this podcast as I had for some others in terms of script. I've just I have a bullet point list of some questions here.
Okay, let's go.
My idea is just, apart from hopefully being interesting for anyone that drops in on the podcast, that it's also going to be a bit of an introduction for newer students, because you're not here as often now because of your private life. That's taking a turn for being very busy.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. You just had a second daughter, which we discussed in our last episode, actually. First we discussed, because the initial thought was maybe you would be here to translate when Sandra was here, but we got Lars instead because you were just waiting your daughter, and she came out healthy.
She came up very healthy, and she sleeps very well. She's a very good baby, but it takes a lot of time and energy.
Yeah.
Split between family and business and coaching, and you need to be many people. I would love to have 5 clones of me, walking around. That would be amazing.
Yeah,
maybe get there someday.
For 5 clones of yourself. Yeah,
that would be good. And I can tell them exactly what they should do. You're stupid, and I can scream at them. I see myself in them, like, yeah, you're doing so much stupid stuff, man. Stop with that. Oh, but I'm you. Yeah, exactly. That's why.
Who would win in a grappling match of the clones?
The guard Rodrigo or the passing Rodrigo? I don't know, man.
All right.
That would be difficult. The guard Rodriguez would be very annoying because of the flexibility,
Right.
The passing Rodrigo is nowadays very slow.
So you would have 2 different clones, one that's specialized on guard and one specialized on
passing, And then I would maybe making the passing Rodrigo a little bit lighter, because then he can be more explosive in Toriado pass and stuff. That was the way I used to pass. And now I'm trying to adapt the pressure pass, which is not working at all. So I'm not a pressure guy. Like, I'm more like dynamic, but with some 7-8 kilos now.
You just need to eat even more.
Huh?
You just need to eat even more.
Yeah, then I can just lie down there. Right. Yeah, man.
Cool. Let's start from the beginning.
Okay, the beginning.
Brazil.
When I was born.
Yeah, when you were born.
Oh man, it was a Wednesday. No, let's move on. So
where in Brazil are you from?
I'm from Belém. Belém is in the. There's so much to talk about Belém, but it's in the Amazon jungle.
Okay.
Which is a very hot and humid place. It rains every day. It has interesting history because it was one of the most developed cities in Brazil and in South America many years ago, like 200 or 300 years ago. And it attracted many immigrants.
Okay.
So Japanese immigrants and also Scottish immigrants and Europeans.
Wow.
So that's how the Gracies and the Maeda, the Japanese
That's how
constellation.
Jiu-Jitsu came to...
Exactly. Came to my hometown. That's how it started. And it's very funny for me because in my childhood, I used to walk because there was those old buildings, we have like a historical center or whatever. And we see a lot of those houses and we listen to the stories,
Yeah.
And when I started very young, I can't remember, 5, 6, I was just very young. I started judo. And I still remember my teacher like talking about the story of the Maeda, Konji Koma, and that name, the Gracies. Although we were doing judo, but he was just talking about the stories and how it developed. And I sometimes I close my eyes and just smell, I just feel the sensations of that time. And it's very funny because things developed, things grew. We are not very significant, like we're not very prominent in Jiu-Jitsu because of course the scene went to the south and developed there, southeast, like Rio de Janeiro, São Paulo.
Yeah.
And but I can feel the in the air, no? And that's part of my story. And,
the history is kind
it's
of
part
in the
of
atmosphere.
part of myself. And,
yeah.
and it's funny because nowadays we are here in Germany talking about the Jiu-Jitsu, you know. And then for me, when I close my eyes, I still have this childhood feeling about what it is. It's changed, evolved. It's a world sport nowadays, and everybody's doing. America got huge, but somehow inside of me there is a childhood feeling still,
right,
connected to that.
Yeah, that really is a cool journey if you think of it like that. From Japan to Brazil, and then spreading out Europe, the United States.
Exactly.
So I don't know the exact story. Obviously, I know that Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is an evolution from Jiu-Jitsu that came from Japan. But so was there a Japanese master coming from Japan to Brazil, or because I always actually thought there was a someone from Brazil going, like one of the Gracies, going to Japan, learning it, and then returning to Brazil.
Oh man, the story is very complicated, and I don't think people know exactly what is going on. Like there are many hypotheses and many people talking about this. I have my own understanding about how it went. You know, it was a kind of an organic thing. There was this fighting scene in Japan, Jiu-Jitsu and Judo as well, that came from the old Jiu-Jitsu. It's a long story. I don't want to go into that.
All right.
But let's see. Then there was a mass migration of Japanese to Europe, to Brazil, and everywhere. So in Brazil, there were many Japanese immigrants teaching, I would say something like a judo.
Mm-hmm.
But for the Japanese, the word jiu-jitsu is judo. Right. I mean, I don't know many Japanese, but when I used to talk with some Japanese, they see as one thing, you know, although they understand the sport judo, you know, but for them it's jiu-jitsu is judo.
Okay.
Because like the do is a kind of just the way you behave, the way you deal with like philosophically speaking, and the jiu-jitsu is the practice. No?
Okay.
So they call it jiu-jitsu. No?
Right.
And
so judo, they usually refer to
because
judo as jiu-jitsu.
What we talk about as judo today. There was a person that I admired a lot. He was ahead of his time, Jigoro Kano. And he was the first contact I had, because I remember his picture in the dojo I had when I started judo, you know, and I had to bow to him all the time. So
right.
I got brainwashed by believing that. But I think he's really amazing.
That was still the Japanese lineage
exactly.
custom. Yeah.
Exactly. So he was pretty ahead of his time, and he envisioned a sport that could benefit everybody, would make all your energy. You put all your energy, physical and mental energy, into that thing and make it real, you know? So that was his principle. And he brought it to unite Japan as like a nation, bringing the heritage of the samurai and all this, the story of Japan, and create some kind of a recreational sport that will benefit people physically, mentally. So it will benefit society, and they will pass this principle of invest all your effort, all your energy, put into that thing and make it happen. And he wanted to make it distant from the past, from the Jiu-Jitsu, because there were many kinds of Jiu-Jitsu, and every sensei was doing their own Jiu-Jitsu, and it was so he said, okay, now we have a national sport, and it will be called the Judo.
Okay.
And he was very smart. He was very ahead of his time, and he could bring people together, also the politicians, and he created a sport. And then he started teaching it, showing the efficiency of judo. No? So he said, my sport called judo. That's my jiu-jitsu is called judo. Huh?
Right.
Yeah, and they had many students.
So he was the father of judo, you could say, basically.
He was the father of judo that learned so many kinds of jiu-jitsu.
Right.
Because there are many styles of jiu-jitsu.
But then he must also have simplified it for sport.
Exactly.
Because I could imagine that when it came from the actual war times when it was used by samurais and stuff like that, they must still have incorporated a lot of ground game and
exactly
that later disappeared.
Exactly. There was a fighting for survival, not for defense and for attack.
And then you can't just stop when you're on the ground. You're like, you're on the ground. Let's stop here.
Yeah, no, there's nothing like this. But when the wars ended up and then Meiji era came, the Restoration Age, the senseis, the warriors, they didn't have much to do, so they started teaching that thing. But each one was teaching their own style, their own version of it, and Jigoro Kano, he just picked up what could be useful for displaying in a more gentle way, not in a killing and destructive way. And so then he created a sport, and of course they established rules. Yeah. And it became popular in Japan, but it couldn't leave Japan. It couldn't the Western people, they couldn't learn that thing. So when the Japanese spread out, also in Brazil, but many other countries, also I guess in Germany there was some Japanese here, probably everywhere. They were teaching their versions of that, and they call this jiu-jitsu, because I'm teaching you technique. I'm not teaching the way. I'm not teaching you the philosophy. I'm not giving you the most precious thing we have. I'm teaching you some moves,
some self-defense stuff,
some stuff.
Almost. Yeah.
This is called jiu-jitsu.
Okay.
This is not the judo we have. The judo we have is a precious. Is a a diamond. Is we keep for ourselves. This is what we're teaching. Is just some moves.
Right.
But
so judo was the original word, you could say, and jiu-jitsu come later.
Yeah, they merge and then they separate and then merge again.
Right.
It's like yin and yang. So what they call the do, it's also like the way, the path.
Right.
The Tao, like the Chinese. Exactly. So. But then they express that through the sport, judo. But the Japanese back in the day said, no, I just teach you the jiu-jitsu here. I teach you some moves.
When they migrated to other countries, you mean?
In Brazil was in the 19th century, 19th century, beginning of the 20th century.
Yeah, but I mean, that's what they said to other people when they migrated, that I will just teach you some moves, not the whole philosophy.
No, I don't think they entered that deep. I just think like, okay, we are not allowed to teach judo. Like to the Westerns. It wasn't like we should keep to ourselves, to Japanese people, like this nationalist pride and stuff.
Yeah.
But some, you cannot stop people to share. Sharing is a natural thing of humans. Sure. We love sharing moments. That's why social media is thriving nowadays, because we love sharing what we like. Yeah, exactly. So they came and said like that's the way it happened. For example, in the north, I know in where I come from, it was a very known jiu-jitsu practitioner, the Maeda. He showed some moves, jiu-jitsu, to some kids. For example, the Gracies, they would also, And Maeda had a very unique approach to jiu-jitsu, because he had a hands-on experience. He had he tried it he traveled around the world and he had some experience on combat.
Right.
So that I call him the first MMA guy.
Yeah.
But that was the seed, I think, for the what later would be called like the Gracie Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah.
Was a kind of Jiu-Jitsu that the Gracie specialized, which was more in a self-defense oriented, you know?
Yeah.
With the systematic control approach from reducing distance, bring fights to the ground, submit, you know?
I've also heard this. I don't know if this is just a urban myth or if there's some truth to it, but there was a rivalry between some of the brothers in the family.
Yeah, I mean,
and one of the brothers were kind of he had some muscle disease, so he just couldn't develop so much strength, and therefore he adapted his techniques to use even more leverage, and then beat one of his brothers, and that's kind of that just
I don't know. I don't know. I cannot see. I never met. I met some Gracies, but I never met Helio Gracie or so. So I mean. What I know is that they had some instructions. They got some ideas from the Japanese teacher Maeda Konjikoma in my hometown, and then they moved to Rio de Janeiro because economically everything works better in the south in Brazil.
Okay,
so. And there, they developed their own ways of teaching and practicing,
right?
Based on the ideas of Maeda about Jiu-Jitsu for combat, Jiu-Jitsu for submitting someone on the ground is. But apparently, Helio couldn't perform the moves he learned from Carlos and from Carlos is his older brother. And from Maeda, and then he developed his own way of doing it.
Right.
But basically, that's what we're all doing. We're all developing our own ways of doing stuff. So, although I recognize his philosophy of saying I adapt to myself, actually, that's what we're all doing all the time. We're adapting this to ourselves. I'm teaching stuff to people so they can adapt to themselves, not to the kids, so they can copy me.
Yeah.
Because everybody's different. Every situation is different.
Yeah.
So, but they call this Gracie Jiu-Jitsu.
Right. And then they challenged the world.
They challenged the world.
Their martial art was the best. And,
exactly.
And kind of wept the floor with everyone. All other fighters, and the rest is kind of history.
Yeah, but parallel to it, there were many other people developing their own jiu-jitsu as well. Right. So I don't think that the history starts with the Gracies and ends up with the Gracies. You know? I think just they were very, very, very important.
Good marketing as well.
They had extremely good marketing as well. Because they challenged, they put themselves in the line and to show, you know, so they put their skin on the game to prove that. So merit to them, of course, acknowledgement. Or without them, we wouldn't be here today.
Yeah.
But there were many people working on it at the same time, you know.
Yeah.
So. If it was today, there would be YouTube and stuff, and people would be sharing knowledge so quick. You know, there would be something like Gracie Jiu-Jitsu because then things would be spread.
Yeah, and someone else learns it, and then But now, back in the days, there were more. The knowledge was passing slowly. So it stayed in one circle for a longer time, and then slowly branched out from there. Yeah.
Exactly.
Today, it's just a big mixing pot, and everyone. Learning from everyone.
When I started Jiu-Jitsu,
less centralized.
It was also like that. Like you wait for a big master to come and show a secret move.
Yeah.
You know? You say, "Wow," you know. It was before internet. Like there was internet, but it wasn't this sharing knowledge through internet we have today. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's crazy what you can learn today. I mean, I don't play that much anymore, but I played drums for a long time. I studied drums, and same thing there. I mean. I grew up just before internet exploded. I was born 90. And I don't know, was it like 2005 around when internet really started to go, right? 2010. And yeah, it was still a time when, you know, when I looked for drum techniques, you looked in books, maybe you went to a seminar and you tried to see someone and you saw someone, you're like, how does he do that with his hands? And you can just see from afar and try to figure out how his fingers working to play a certain thing very fast or something like this, you know. And today you can just see the very best of the world up close, like with a camera, just filming every finger in slow motion if you want to. It's crazy.
That's perfect. Information should flow.
It's beautiful. Yeah. We also see the difference. There's so many young people today that's really young and they get insanely good very quickly.
Yeah.
Just because they can, if they have an interest, they can find the best teacher for free and just learn anything like this.
I think that's amazing, you know.
It's really cool.
I draw an analogy with, you know, internet. Now we talk about internet, but security of internet, you know, so we have those people who study a PhD in science, computer science, and they develop a server, proof of hacking, and then there's a 12-year-old boy in the basement, you know, just hacks. You know?
Yeah.
So, but I think this is amazing. I love that, and nowadays Jiu-Jitsu is also into that. You know, that no matter how hard you train, no matter how you put the effort, man, there will be always a 15-year-old boy coming and challenging you and messing up with you.
Everyone's just, everything and everyone is developing at a rapid speed. If you just have the dedication, there's nothing stopping you.
That's good. Many people, I think that they have the authority challenged. You know, I don't like that. You know?
Yeah.
Especially not my generation, but the black belts before my generation.
Yeah, it's a big change.
They do want to be challenged.
It's a huge change.
Like the other master. Oh, no, you cannot even. No, you cannot tap them. You cannot pass the gun, or they get pissed off. But that's the evolution, man.
Yeah,
that's amazing. I love to be part of it, to witness that. You know, to see that.
Cool. Well, let's go back a little bit. That was very, very to the beginning. We went to the beginning of Jiu-Jitsu even. That's amazing. So you grew up in this really cool place with the atmosphere of the roots, the home of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Yeah. How was family life? Were you kind of middle class?
Well,
we discussed a bit before. I know you had an education as an engineer. We're going to get to that. So I assume that maybe it was a bit kind of middle class.
My father was a genius, right? My father was a genius. He was a very brilliant man.
All right.
So he took us out of the poverty for sure. But he couldn't sustain his wealth very well, but it's another discussion.
Right. What made him a genius though? Like in what sense?
I don't know, man. He
like, was it good at business or good at?
His mind was brilliant.
How did the brilliant mind manifest in the world?
It's very difficult to talk about my father, but he was a unique person. He was very difficult. Also,
is he still alive today?
No, he's gone. He's gone. I don't know. He had some skills, not only social skills but intellectual skills that were like far beyond I can ever reach. Yeah.
Right.
So he became a doctor. He managed to become a doctor after driving taxi a lot. But anyway, he became a doctor, and then he had his own office. Mm-hmm. But then he messed up. He smoked a lot and got cancer, whatever. But in the meantime, he helped me out of getting to the university as well. I got a degree, engineering, automation and control.
Automation control, okay.
So that was what I supposed to do in my life. You know? Yeah, that's what I wanted to do as well. But when I came to Berlin to do a master's degree,
so that's what brought you to Berlin. The studies brought you here.
Exactly,
okay,
that's the way. That's why I'm here. I wanted to go to Cologne.
Typical. It's usually a woman studies.
Yes, woman studies. Yeah, I had in Cologne. I wanted to go to Cologne. Also because I've been there before. I've been working and having a semester in Cologne. But I messed up. My bad. I messed up with documents that never arrived, and I messed up with the masters there. So
okay.
But Berlin could accept me still. I managed to write Berlin and say, look, I want to go there for a master's. This is my CV, my records. Can I get into the university still, please?
Right.
And the guy said, yeah, actually not, but yes. Send the papers over, we analyze. So it worked at the end of the day, and I came.
Okay.
So when I came,
you got a bit of a lucky card. It was like,
yeah,
you had a nice guy that kind of
yeah. I still remember his name
worked
from
around
emails.
this. Oh, really?
Yeah, from emails. Yeah. Anyway, but then, then I came here to.
Who was it? What was that? A little shout out.
No, yeah.
All right, we'll leave that.
Yeah, then Jan Schoeneberg, something like this. Yeah.
All right.
Then I came for a study, and then I wanted to search for a place to train, right? Because Jiu-Jitsu was my hobby. You know? I've been always training Jiu-Jitsu, studying, training. Sometimes I didn't have time because I had to work during my studies as well.
Yeah.
I worked during the day and I had a night school, so I had to go from 7 to 10, whatever, to university.
Right. When did you say you arrived in Berlin? What year?
2009.
2009. And you worked as a bouncer, right? That's the only work
that's not
known
thing,
from before.
I've been working my whole life. I've been working my whole life everywhere I am. Yeah. First I worked here at the university, and then I had found a space to train at the Budokan. Like it was BJJ school, the only one we had back in the day. And there I started training Jiu-Jitsu, but I never intended to teach. Yeah. So that's something that happened. I don't even know how. I was just wanted to train Jiu-Jitsu, right? So it was like this. My friend Robert, that is the owner of BJJ Academy nowadays, he left to Brazil for a while, and he said, "Can you teach for me?" And I said, "Yeah, I can teach." But then he said, "Yeah, just stay with the class." I said, "Okay."
All right.
And I taught Jiu-Jitsu every Tuesday. That's how it started. But then I really liked, and then it developed. And
what belt did you have at this point when you started teaching?
I was purple belt.
Purple.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Then the balance stuff was a little later, because of course just teaching Jiu-Jitsu I couldn't make a living at all. So I was completely broke, and then I found somebody who said, "Yeah, can you watch for a door?" And all right, what should I do? Just tell the drunk people not to get in. All right. So it was like I was doing this 5 years, and I had billions of stories to tell. But
well, I was gonna ask. Take one. I need at least one or two highlights. Because I know you also been teaching, and I don't know if we have any self-defense classes in the dojo at the moment, but I know that we have had and that you've been teaching. Do you have any stories where you used the Jiu-Jitsu?
Yeah, I've been working in different clubs, and some of them were really challenging, others are really boring because nothing was working, but the boring ones were better because, more safe.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been into situations not on the ground. I don't need to I don't think the ground is a useful place to be. God.
Yeah, asphalt, there's glass, there's all kind of shit when you're outside.
Ground, you need to know if you are falling on the ground and you are in danger, then you need to know how to survive on the ground. That's what I understand. But most of the things,
would you say it's a last resort thing?
Yeah, it's a last resort. Yeah. Most of the things were solved. Of course, me playing doing psychological warfare. Mostly, somehow people believed I had a gun or something like this.
Right.
I just made them believe that I was prepared for everything.
Right.
My God. Some others, I was just say, "Hey, your friend is outside. Come with me. He's waiting for you." And people, "Yeah, seriously, yeah." But when they're outside, "Where is he?" "Bye." Boom, close the door, something like this.
just with them.
Just going with them, outsmarting.
Yeah.
But I had to use force sometimes as well, of course. When you talk, when when they don't want to listen to you, when there's no way, or when they attack first.
Yeah. course, yeah.
then you have to use force. But depends, because if I get into my anger, if I channel my anger, then I can also
then maybe you're not the right guy for the job either.
yeah, but that's the thing. You everybody feels you have feelings, right? Anger is an important feeling to have, but it's good to channel it, not to let it.
Yeah, it's the typical.
Because if
you can use your anger, but don't let the anger use you.
Exactly, that's very useful.
Be mindful of how you use the emotion, because it can be powerful, but it can also be very destructive.
Yeah,
the
Sith path, like in Star Wars. Yeah. So the anger gives you a lot of power.
I should add a little Star Wars.
Yeah, exactly.
Here in the background.
You stay highly focused, man. I've been like, I never boxed in my life. I did some boxing, of course, but not like. But I cannot tell you how anger gives me so much focus,
Right.
That I can see things in slow motion. And yeah, so I cannot say I use like I never did a kimura on a self-defense street, but I've been getting out of hits and hitting back. Boop.
Yeah.
Like you're like, how did I do that, man?
Yeah. Once you're in that, yeah.
How can I just get out and then just go back hit in the right spot? You know? So not causing a damage, not breaking anybody, not being like but just like one hit, boop, and the person say, ooh.
Yeah.
What was that? Oh, you just hit and the person, boop.
It's odd when you have those situations where I think it's a combination, maybe anger, but I think also, at least in my experience, just that adrenaline of being on the absolute edge of like, your life might be threatened or something like it, and it puts you in a very weird space. I had not in a fight situation, but a very funny thing I did when I was younger. I must have been maybe end of teens or early 20s, I'm not sure, but we were at this big skiing place, a big hill going down, and it was after closing. It was dark, and we were there with these little bobs. I don't know what they're called in English. These plastic things that kids go down in snow in. Like, well, it's fun. It goes fast, and they had a snowboard jump there, and I told my friends, like, there's no way that with the speed you get here, I'm gonna jump much over that jump, because when you're on a snowboard, you have more leverage and stuff. My friends were like, oh, way, you're gonna go way over it, and I disagreed. So I was gonna prove them, wrong or right or whatever. And almost on the edge there, I realized this is going way too fast, and I just go up. And this thing I'm going on just disappears underneath me. I just go into there. I just remember.
You told me that.
And I just remember everything's in slow motion.
You told me that,
I can feel, I almost see myself in the third perspective, feel myself, my hands are going like this, like in a movie. And I remember I had 3 thoughts. I thought, during the flight, I could think 3 things. One was like, this is never ending. How long am I going to fly? Because everything was in slow motion, The second one was, I'm going to end up in the hospital. I thought I was going to land on my feet and like either fuck up my legs or my back. And the third one was, well, at least someone is filming it, so it's going to look cool on camera.
Crazy, man. What the mind is capable of doing.
Yeah. But then I was super lucky. I landed just in the end of the because this snowboard comes just up, then it's a plateau for a while, and then they go down again. And I landed just in the right degree to just like, I barely got a bruise. I felt a little bit bruised on my butt, but it was amazing. My friends were too, like, wow, you must have been like 3-4 meters above the plateau, and then crazy. But going back to that whole thing, when everything goes to slow motion, it's like time just stops, and your mind can do so much, and when you're out of it, you kind of wonder what happened.
I had to neutralize somebody with a knife once, but he didn't take out the knife. When he went to take out the knife, I just neutralized him very quickly.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I remember right now. Yeah, and once I caught a thief as well, and I could just pin him until the police came.
Right.
Yeah. Once I met some.
How did you neutralize the knife?
Yeah, I was in the corner.
Yeah.
I was in the corner.
You were cornered.
I was cornered. Yeah. And he came to me and he just took his t-shirt, like not t-shirt, he just raised like that. And when talking about the anger, the slow motion, the survival instinct.
Yeah.
When I saw the hand like in the 0.2 speed, I was already with my and my hit landed before he could it, and then I kept on hitting, and then he felt bloop, and I was like, fuck.
So you got him before the knife got out properly.
My heart like fuck, and then I had to leave for a couple of weeks because he was coming back with his friends all the time to check if I was still working there and stuff. It was and it wasn't a beautiful, wasn't a nice stage of my life because I could say
stress you want.
I could say and that bouncer time, not the end, because when I went to big clubs, things got too easy, right? But at the beginnings and middle, I just seen too much. Like I had to confront two guys, like also, I don't know, they were very, very strange, man. And of course had to confront a lot of people who look at my skin like, and
right. Is there a lot of it?
We're Germans, right. A lot of racism. Yeah, and you have to keep cool.
It's always hard, like for someone Caucasian, it's hard to like see how much there is and how much there isn't. I guess also if you're a decent being, I don't really hang out with people that have those beliefs, and therefore you think there's not that much going on.
There's a lot.
I also had like Fritz here, who's doing the camera. I don't know where he's at now, but checking message. Well, I trust the cameras are running. He's Asian, of Chinese, Asian heritage, and he says he also hear it sometimes.
Yeah, of course.
Interestingly enough, he don't hear it much from white people. He hear it more from more black communities. They're more racist against Asian communities.
I got racist from the blacks as well. I got racist from everywhere because I had genetically I have a lot of Jewish people in my family, right?
Okay.
So but the Arabs think that I'm an Arab.
Right.
The Germans think that I'm an Arab, and the Jewish, when they look at me, they start talking also in Hebrew. It's like, come on, I'm not fucking Hebrew, man. I don't get you. And the Arabs start talking about Arab, and the Germans look at me, but no one thinks that I'm Brazilian. Come on, that's easy, man. I'm just a mix. So if you see
always have to wear your black belt, so like, I must be Brazilian. That's Jiu-Jitsu.
I wear flag Brazil everywhere, and come on.
Oh, that's interesting.
But anyway, there is also this kind of positive racism as well when they think that you're Brazilian, when they know that you're Brazilian.
Right.
This Brazil carnival football. Like I am suck at football, man.
Right.
I hate carnival, man. I like, come on.
But is that good or bad though? Like because people still try to be friendly, and that even I have that as a Swedish person, because I can have like, okay, I'm from Sweden. People go like Abba or Zlatan. To go back to football, Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Like a lot of people are into football, and I also I'm not into football at all. So I'm like, okay, ABBA is okay. I mean, it's not for being pop music. It's good pop music. I get why they got big. It's not my musical style, but. Yeah, it's just a bit annoying because they try to build a connection with you somehow. So I get that. Okay, they're trying to be nice, but it's also doesn't really work, and then it just gets a bit awkward. Somewhere.
Yeah, it gets awkward, man. Because you think like this is not me at all. But that's my journey here in this earth, man.
Right.
Just get misunderstood in every corner, People don't get me at all. Right. But I'm used to it. Also in Brazil, everywhere. Like
that's why we're doing this podcast.
Yeah.
Hopefully, people understand you a little
Probably
bit.
Probably
not. They'll misunderstand every word.
Yeah.
We'll read the comments later. Well, wonderful. what's next? Life as a bouncer. We went through. Yeah. Actually, I want to go a bit more into spirituality and stuff. Because I know
now you
also
have 10 hours for that. to begin introduction.
Because I know you also went to the yoga path for a while. You're a certified yoga instructor. Was that in Germany as well?
It was here,
It was here. And also in your office, I know you have this poster with the chakra system. So that's a bit. What's the name of the? Oh no, I totally lost it. The Indian faith is with the Bhagavad Gita and.
Oh, so this is Vedanta.
Right.
But it's not faith. This is a kind of a philosophy.
Is that something you embrace? What was in general your life philosophy from maybe this general life philosophy and also spiritual approach towards it?
This is one of the one of my interests.
Yeah.
See, I love Jiu-Jitsu. Yeah. This is a huge part of my life. You see, we are sitting in Jiu-Jitsu right now. But this is not the only thing I'm interested in. So I have many other interests. Like music, for example.
Right. Yeah.
And yoga and spirituality. I like the word yoga because it translates everything for me.
Yeah.
It's union. But it's a huge part of me as well, of my search.
Yeah.
And although in the West, we have now a very, very, I guess, we are in like where we are now is in a very early stage, or actually in the age of a little bit of ignorance, that in the Indian philosophy, like Vedanta, Samkhya philosophy, there are some yugas, the ages, and not yoga but yuga with you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's said that we are now entering, or not entering, in the middle of the deepest of the Kali Yuga. And Kali Yuga is called the Dark Age, which is not doesn't mean it's bad. It just means the age of ignorance.
Like spiritually, it's just a very
that we have many misconceptions about who we are, our true selves, and what is going on around us.
Our connection to
everything, to the higher source,
to each other.
So to each other, that we believe we are separate entities. We have this kind of stupidity. We believe like me, I am a dead person. You are like a small particle that's collapsed. But actually, we are in an ocean. We are together in that thing. But anyway.
How long is this cycle? Do you know, according to that?
According to some scholars, and it goes, they have different interpretation of the cycles, but probably Kali Yuga, it's the shortest period, and started already, I think, 3,000 years ago, something like this. Or something, I can't say. Maybe after the Greece, the Egypt, they had so much knowledge and stuff. So. Around after that period when they collapsed, and then strength prevailed, and nowadays also I see we are deep in the Kali Yuga. There are many signs of that. I cannot deny, like when I look at ourselves today and what people value most and what people believe they are doing, but they don't even see themselves why they are doing that. What the way they engage with life, with reality, the way they make that persona. We all make personas, of course. I make my persona as well and represent that persona in the world and show this is Rodrigo, this is BJJ coach, whatever,
Yeah.
Of course, but some of them are not even aware They create a persona to represent that persona in the world, that avatar they have.
Yeah.
They just live that role. They believe they are that thing.
Yeah.
So, and then they start doing whatever society tells them what is the good thing to do. That the trend now is to show whatever. And then they go and they show exactly what people want to see. Yeah? And then they doing this to impress each other. Now the trend is to have a big car, and then everybody wants to have a big. That's just an example.
Yeah.
The trend now is to have a nice bike. The trend is now to be, so we kind of follow those kind of patterns. We don't even know why. So this is Kali Yuga.
Right.
The good news is that after this dark circle, we have 3 more to go. Yeah, we have Dvapara, Treta, and we have the Satya. Yeah? And the Satya is an age where human beings are more in contact with who they really are.
Right.
They understand things better, and they stop pretending. So we're not gonna be here around when Satya comes, but yeah.
Oh, not in this form, at least.
Yeah, not in this form. Yeah, not in this form. No.
If you believe in reincarnation or how you believe, I would definitely say I believe in reincarnation, as in, as science also says, energy doesn't go anywhere, so everything is coming again. But the question is if there's some kind of entity or soul or whatever you want to call it that carries a seed with it from previous lives to the next life or not.
Yeah, this is a discussion also that goes into many different.
I think there should be something, because everyone has I don't think all personality traits of a person can just be blamed on upbringing and circumstances and genes. I think sometimes it feels like you have certain callings and certain things that you had since your childhood. A lot of times that you seem to forget when you get older because of society's expectations and stuff like this.
Over it.
But it's still there from the childhood. You have this seed of something that you want to do, and I always wonder, where does that actually come from?
Yeah, see, because we are always there. We collapse into that form, and then we leave that, but we are always there. So there are many different ways of seeing this. The Samkhya Vedanta way, like what gives the origin to yoga, that they believe in an eternal being, like Purusha in Samkhya and Atma in Vedanta. Yeah?
Right.
That's that eternal being that
soul,
that doesn't change. And we have the Buddhist approach that say, no, there is nothing like that, because everything is eternally changing. So, and it's difficult to conciliate both. But I think
one explanation I've heard is that the reason that Buddhism says nothingness is because they did not want to create they didn't want to fall in the same trap that a lot of other religions has done, that you kind of give this ever-changing thing a face and a form, because it's like the Atman. The Atman is everything, so it's ever-changing. It doesn't have a form, and therefore Buddhism just call it nothingness instead.
Yeah, that's
to avoid that trap.
Yeah, for me, this is about being an absolute and all in the relative. I guess he just specified more.
Yeah.
To avoid that trap, let's say. That's a good argument, to avoid the trap. So he just went in, he just became a little more specific. He didn't want to go into the whole thing.
Yeah, at least that's one part of it. I mean, Buddhism is also divided in different Buddhist beliefs, so maybe not all of them.
Yeah, there we go,
Yeah.
But, see, there are many different because you said also about my posture chakras and stuff. There are different levels of being.
Yeah.
So who we are now is just one small layer, which is the physical, which is very important as well.
Yeah.
Of course.
Without the root chakra, the base.
Without the physical, we couldn't be here exchanging that. None of this would exist.
Yeah.
But this is just one part of us. Then when these things die, the matter, So it is said that we are still living for a while in other forms. So I'm very bad, really bad at remember stuff. So I always interpret it my own way. So it becomes a mess.
Right.
But anyway, so we have a form that is more like
but this is more based on the Hindu or the
based
Indian.
based on many different Hermetic principles going back to Egypt and so we have
should we go into Atlantis and stuff too?
yeah, that we don't go that way.
It becomes a Joe Rogan podcast.
Exactly. But it is said we live in a certain form. The physical form is dead, but we still have this kind of prana, right? This pranic form, this like more energy, and it has some memories stored.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have another body that's above that has the manas, chitta, buddhi, ahamkara, manas. A lot of age, a lot of which corresponds to the chakras as well. Okay.
Right.
So the bottom would be a physical, more physical representation.
Yeah.
Maybe do we really want to go to that? Man?
To what?
Because I can go on that forever. So
maybe we should set a time, 10 more minutes. And then we move
exactly. On. So this when these forms they are living, we are going from that being that is physical into a more energetical being that is gonna also die. Okay, it's not gonna be last forever. Okay. And we're going to have now a more intellectual, like where the intellectual being, where the memories are stored, which is the buddhi, which is intellect. Manas, I think, is like the sensual sensations. And we have ahamkara, that is that identification with the self, with that thing. So this will die as well.
Right.
And this ahamkara, this identification is where that brings this notion of I, me. So that thing will die. Okay. Right. So forget about thinking we're gonna go back as I was Jack and back. That thing will die.
Right.
But all the experiences they will be recycled or be.
So you don't
going
think
to
past life regression is a thing? People that claim they remember.
I have some past life experiences that feel very, very real for me. So very real.
Right.
But I also believe that this might be I'm coming to this point now. So when all these things die, all the memories, what the being is completely gone, there is something left, which is the Atma, or Purusha in the other.
Yeah.
So and then we have this is my interpretation. Then we have the Brahman and the Brahman.
Yeah.
So the two things, Brahman and Brahma.
Mm-hmm.
So Brahma is what we believe can be like the everything. See, we would say like this. First, there is Brahma. Brahma is all. All. The all is perfect because it's all, everything, good, bad, and everything. There's nothing outside Brahma, like the all.
Yeah.
Then we have something that dreams into it and becomes something else. It can be let's make like the second one, right? So it becomes like that god that we might know from the mythology or whatever. He is not perfect. Perfect is the creator. So he's just one entity that just dreaming about having being inside the universe.
Right.
So and that entity is dreaming inside the dream that he is conscious about being here. So there are many layers.
Right.
And
somewhere on that layer, deep down or deep up or whatever way you want to go.
That's a human being. This is a physical
dreaming.
This is a physical being dreaming about this thing. Yeah. So, or another knowledge you can use is every time you can go down one dimension, you need a new body.
Yeah.
So if you going, for example, underwater, you need a cloth.
Right.
Doesn't mean that you are the cloth.
Yeah.
If you go to outer space, you need a cloth. So it doesn't mean that you are the look at the astronaut, looks at the mirror and say, I'm this.
But maybe if you've been in outer space for all your life and you had a spacesuit on forever, you would start identifying with the spacesuit as a part of you.
Exactly.
Because if you would lose part of it, you would die. So you really start cherish it as yourself.
Exactly. You think you have to leave the space someday, so you leave the suit. But at some point, you don't understand anymore. You think you are the suit. That's what's happening. But it can go forever, man.
Yeah. Let's move on. That's very interesting. This is what I want this podcast to be as well. So, how does this tie into Jiu-Jitsu? I think it's good in general. I think even though you don't speak so much about these kind of things, I have a sense you can still feel it in the dojo somehow.
Of course.
Which I think is important. It's something I miss with a lot of martial arts today. This tradition that usually comes from, at least from the more Asian, China and Japan. You've got the Taoist monks and stuff, the Shaolin monks, that they blend the martial art with the spiritual. And I think that's very important because you can learn a lot. Like, as you said, the martial art is the physical level of it, but it also involves your mind. And if you go beyond the mind, you come more to the energetical space, and then
the energetical, this and that.
Exactly. So it all, it builds on one another. I think that's good.
But that's the thing, which is not bad at all. Be specific and be specialized and be highly just into one point, of your existence. It's not the way I used to live my life, just seeing it and one specific thing. But Jiu-Jitsu is just part of it, no?
Yeah.
I think people they forget to find a balance into things. They just tend to be highly pragmatic or highly spiritual. Forget about.
Right. I've definitely been there. But I think we also learn by making those mistakes. You go too much on one side and then you start swinging back, and life's very much like a pendulum. I think, at least for me, a lot of times that it's just back and forth, and it feels, hopefully, the older I get, the pendulum would just get a little bit less extreme to each side.
Because
until it gets more and more balanced.
Because you're not going left and right anymore. You're going above. The triangle. You're going above.
Right.
So you are transcending. So it happens, for example, when you see two kids fighting for a toy. They are like so emotional inside that this is mine, and you can go and say, kids, stop with that. Why you're not going into that? Because now you are not on the bottom of the triangle, you on the top.
Right.
But then when you're top of the triangle, you gotta have another
a new triangle.
So the goal in life is just to go always above on those levels. So evolving into that
becomes like a giant Christmas tree like this.
Exactly. You're building up a Christmas tree. Right?
The never-ending Christmas tree.
That's the way you see also everywhere in life. Young boys as well. Yeah, I'm so cool. And then you leave the boy being a boy. Don't go down to his level and So that's what we should do, and people don't realize this. They are just in this extreme. I am a very pragmatic. I am a very spiritual. Come on, guys, stop. You both need to come together.
Find the balance. Yeah. It's funny. Also in the world, I think you see that too. I think I've always had this belief, not always, but for quite some time, that so above, so below. That everything that's true on a small plane is also small on the big plane, and the other way around. I think you also see it in the world with North and West. Like North is a very pragmatic, like more or South, North South. Sorry. And then you got southern hemisphere of the earth where people are a bit more energetic and bit stuff, but maybe things are a bit chaotic sometimes.
Exactly.
And as people mingle and they come together, you know, you get a nicer blend of it and things get more balanced.
Exactly. This is called the principle of correspondence.
Yeah.
As above, so below.
Yeah, yeah.
As within, so without.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. How has becoming a father changed your view on life?
Everything.
Everything.
Yeah. So I always wanted to be a dad.
Yeah.
That was something I was looking forward because this would be first would be a way of transcend. That's the way I can move on, live forever, let's say.
Yeah.
Like in the physical way.
Right.
But also I always wanted to feel that connection, that love, and that's something you cannot find.
Everyone says that. At least everyone that enjoys being a father.
Okay, my daughter woke me up at 3 a.m. today. I mean, like if you wake me up 3 a.m, I'll get really so. But
that's the next podcast challenge.
Yeah. If it's my daughter, then I kiss her. You know, so
yeah.
This changed and also of course setting my priorities. In life, like there's nothing more important than that for me now.
Yeah.
And everything I do is to not only improve my life condition, but improve everything so they can also feel that and they can also move on. So being a father was, and also of course it showed me a lot of things that I had to work myself as well. So not to mess up with the kid, because you know kid is just so open and you have to be always careful what you are sending, putting into the mind.
Because they're like sponges.
Yeah, exactly. Their mind is just absorbing. Careful what you are doing, you know. Like you have to be,
and almost even more so when they're so tiny they haven't learned to speak yet. Because they pick up on your energy, I guess, your body language, so much stuff that you might not be aware of a lot of times unless you're just very self-conscious and self-aware.
My older daughters copy me all the time. So I can look at like, come on, what you're doing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think like you just have to show that you are always there for them. You always love them no matter what. And of course, sometimes you're gonna, we have arguments, so to say. What is important afterwards to reconcile.
Yeah.
You know, and say, look, I said this, but look, actually I meant that. Sorry for that, you know. So it's important to recognize also the feelings of that little being and say, like, I see that you're angry, man, but okay. So not downplay or not fight back. Or not. But that's the thing. You move one edge above, you know, one stage above. And you can see from above and see, that's what I should be, harmonizing.
Right.
I don't want to go down and enter in conflict.
Yeah. So would you say that also made you a lot more self-aware because you see your daughter pick up on your own patterns? Do you see stuff in yourself that you might not have seen before?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And it exactly helps me reflect on these things and say like, look, these patterns came from your genetics, from your, you know, but it doesn't mean you have to push them, show them again and repeat them. You can stop them right where they are, reflect, and then change. It's your opportunity to do it. So my father changed from his father, you know, and from his parents. My mother changed from the parents, and now it's my opportunity to do what? To feel that coming, that impulse, that instinct, right? And say, stop, reflect. It's the right thing to do, you know. So, what is the right thing to do? Take a deep breath, think, and show your daughter that you mean that you meant that from her. So And this is quite challenging, but this is the best experience ever.
Yeah. Cool. I heard some, maybe I shouldn't say it because I don't remember the full quote, but I'll try anyway. I heard some quote going like that, you mature when you can forgive your parents, and you become wise when you can forgive yourself.
Yeah.
And that's one thing before that, but it has to do with this understanding. You see stuff in yourself, where it comes from, and because you understand that, you can also forgive it.
Exactly. You need to pass beyond that. If you cannot pass, or see, when you talk about parents, the parents they are your past. Huh?
Yeah.
Kids are your future.
Yeah.
And your spouse, your relationship is your present. Yeah. So you have to be able to see everything as they are. If you all the time bring your parents to your present, you're gonna fight your spouse.
Yeah.
If you project your parents to your future, you're gonna damage your kids.
Right. Yeah.
So leave everything what it is.
Yeah.
It belongs here, it belongs there, it belongs here. So
beautiful. We're gonna take a short break because I need to pee.
Okay.
If we had a sponsor, I would put it here, but we don't have a sponsor. But well, I guess BJJ Dojo Berlin is the sponsor.
BJJ Dojo Berlin is the sponsor. Yeah.
We'll be back in a second.
Yeah. I get very claustrophobic, I need a lot of space.
A lot of space too. Yeah. I think that might be the spiritual thing.
Yeah, I mean, I just like see if you expand.
Yeah, and the more you expand, like you feel this. I'm bigger than myself.
I'm bigger.
I
Come on, give me space. Yeah. I want to breathe.
Yeah, cool. Could you tell me a bit about the journey to founding BJJ Dojo Berlin? You were in a few gyms before. I don't know if you were in more. I started when you were in Kiryu, which was before this one.
Yeah. So
I don't know if you were in other places before as well.
As I said, I never intend to be to do anything with Jiu-Jitsu because Jiu-Jitsu was just a sport I was doing while I was studying.
Right.
I was.
It's a hobby.
Oh yeah, just okay. Let's go to Jiu-Jitsu. Yeah, let's go to the beach. Yeah, and then afterwards go to Jiu-Jitsu. Not today. Like hobby. Like everybody is doing hobby. But then when I came here, then I started teaching for some reason, and then I really liked it. So, teaching is so good. Yeah, I like interacting with people, seeing their progress, seeing that it's doing something good into them. It's like switching them somehow for, I really like that. And being an engineer is nice because I can work with my mind as well a lot. And I really love working with my mind, but in Jiu-Jitsu I can work with my mind and I can work with people as well.
Right. It's the perfect combination.
That's good. So, but of course, it wasn't, the journey was, it was a lot of up, down. Because I wasn't sure what I wanted, Then it went into conflict with my reality. My reality was I have a path as an engineer. I will be doing this master, and then when I leave, when I finish this master, I leave. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Your plan was to go back to Brazil and
go back to go forward.
Okay, some other country, some other place.
Some other country, some other place. After I finish the master, then the world is open. I can be somewhere, anywhere. Brazil or anywhere, I don't know. I just finish that thing and then I will move from here. I will apply to many jobs, everywhere, and then see. So that was my plan A.
Right. And then you went to Berlin and get stuck like everyone else.
Exactly. Like everyone else, I got stuck in the city. Now, then it conflicted with my reality. That feeling I could be doing jiu-jitsu, but I came from another place. So I understand if you are like an athlete, you are doing jiu-jitsu for, you started jiu-jitsu, you were competing, then you have a clear vision, you want to do jiu-jitsu, right? It's something different than I was wasn't like, no, man, I like training, I really love teaching, but I want to work. And then I got back and forth in this path, right? Because I found many people that were helping me, kind of, other people pushing me away. So you had those two forces, and people, no, go back to what go back sleep, Don't aim too high in doing something different than that, you know.
Right.
Funny enough,
Don't listen to your heart.
Don't listen to your heart. Don't listen to your heart. Funny enough, many of these people are
what's expected of you.
But many of these people actually are listening to their hearts. But anyway.
Okay.
So.
But not your heart. That's the thing with listening to your heart, right? No one else can hear it.
Yeah, so but they are listening to their hearts, and they are doing what they want, but they tell you no, don't do what you want. You know, that's very strange.
Unfair.
Yeah. But other people are also motivating me, say, do what you want.
Right.
So luckily I started listening to people that were telling me to do what I wanted.
Yeah.
And I was listening to my own intuition as well. That was like, it will work. It's just gonna be a mess, but it will work. You're gonna suffer.
Beautiful mess.
You're gonna suffer a lot. You're gonna be challenged in the ways you can never imagine, man. But you're gonna work. And I had this in my head where we are sitting now. I had this in my head. That's funny because, you know,
the dojo was always having your own gym.
It was in my head.
For how long? When do you think you had the first thought of it?
The first thought started in 2011, I think.
Okay.
But it was in and out until, I don't know, 2017, 16. Yeah. But most of the times I was like, this is taking long, but I'm going there. I have my own dojo, you know. So I had this thing in my head. And of course, you get a lot of criticism, also people laughing at you, you know, or believing that you're a loser anyway. You know? So
I think that's quite usual, especially when you do something and that challenges their beliefs about themselves and what's possible. Because if you say I can do it, then they have no excuse for themselves not to follow their dreams.
Their dreams.
So it kind of challenges people.
Yeah, many people, they have.
Either they have to question you or they have to question themselves.
Yeah, I think
it's easier to just question someone else.
Just to question you, just to shut you down. Yeah, I had this naysayer problem a lot. I guess a lot, but I was seeing as just a way here. You know, I wasn't seeing as that's it. I wasn't seeing you know, when you were hiking, I love hiking as well. When you are hiking, sometimes, man, it's just so tiring. And sometimes the sun is burning your skin. It's like, I don't want to do this anymore. But you know, there's still 5 hours, man, or 7 hours, whatever. Right. I have some water with me. I just have to be careful.
The sun is burning. You just go to northern Sweden, like Martino. Won't have that problem. Exactly.
And you know,
just keep on one step after another. One step at a time,
And there's a lot of stones in the way. What can you do, man? Just keep on going, and you're gonna get there. Eventually, you're gonna get there, right?
Yeah.
So that's the way I sing.
Take a rest when needed. I think that's important too.
Yeah, of course. Sometimes you need to take a rest, and you see a lake or a river. It's like, okay, it's time to take a break.
Because otherwise you burn out, right?
Of course.
I tend to do. Sometimes I take on too much, and I just need to remind myself, like, taking a break doesn't mean giving up. Taking a rest doesn't mean giving up. And sometimes you need to accept that I need a break now for a while, and then I get back.
That's correct. To it. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, people in our culture, in the Western culture, and it's like, no, push hard. Yeah. No, that's a terrible advice to give to someone.
Especially American too. They're so competitive driven.
Yeah. That's most terrible advice. As like, you know, push hard, and then you burn out. I just sit here and wait. When you burn out, then I move. Keep on pushing hard. Competition, you know. That's, you understand. Yeah. That's an insane way of living, because then you have no joy in life anyway. So. Then I've been teaching in many different schools. I was completely, back in the day, completely like, and also I didn't know much about anything. So, and I didn't have the right guidance, you know. So I've been teaching in different schools where I could have already started something, but I didn't know exactly. I didn't have maybe people also defending my own interest, you know, like they were all wanting profit themselves.
Right.
But anyway, I always thought this is just a way to get there. I was working night shift after and before teaching. I was just a mess. Anyway, this is just a way to get there, you know.
Right.
And I was showing my idea to everybody, and people, yeah, but I don't think it works, you know.
So what was the first gym you started giving, like being the, not your gym, but you were the one running the whole Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu thing of the gym? Was it Kirigo?
Yeah. Before that, I was just working for other people. Huh?
Right. And how long were you at Kirigo before you started this place?
18, 19, 20. Okay, this is difficult because of the pandemic. It just fries my brain, the pandemic time. I cannot make any calculations.
No one wants to remember.
But it was like 2 years, I guess. 3 years.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Right. Not including the pandemic. So before the pandemic, 2-3 years
yeah,
before.
Trying to count with pandemics. Because the pandemic
2 to 3 years.
just messed up stuff. But I guess was...
It was very funny for those that didn't know that I lived just around the corner when that's where I started, and then I had no clue you moved here. I moved here, and then we met. I was going to the rehearsal room to play drums or something, and that was close to where you live. And I think I met you on the bicycle, and that's when you told me, I moved the gym to this address, and I was like, that address? You serious? That's like 2 blocks away from where I live now.
No, we're here. No, it's our address, yeah.
Was it obviously it was a big decision to rent a space here, but how long did you think of it? Was it like once it happened, did it happen instantaneous, or did you plan a lot for it?
See, yeah, it was my plan, it was my dream, but it took me very long to find people who could really believe in it. Yeah? So once I started dreaming together with other people, then this place was real. But it
do you mean the other coaches, or do you mean with other people? How do you mean?
Yeah,
like students
and sponsors as well, because I couldn't do this myself.
Okay.
Like just in the financial investment, he was very high. So
what sponsors did you have?
Like angels.
Okay. People that helped you out, basically.
People that help you out in life. You know, after in the hardest time, when everything is gone, if you keep believing, a hand will be extended to you and say like, you arrived.
Right.
Yeah. So it couldn't be done alone. Like this is a myth. It's just
but more private people helping out.
Friends. Yeah.
Great.
Not that you are begging for them, and they just see you and say like, wow, I see you.
Yeah.
And I can do this with you.
Yeah.
So I had many people that entered together with me here with this spirit, you know. So they could see that I was the guy that could provide a space like that.
Mm-hmm.
Then I had the work ethics and the experience and I know how to do it. So. Cool. And they believed in me. So the thing is, this myth of you do this all your own is a myth. People are always gonna come and extend you. You better accept that. Be humble to recognize you need help. You need people together with you, because if it's only in your head, if it's only you thinking about stuff, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
If it's in your head, you better say the word. You better explain. You better express yourself. You better become that.
Right. So people see it.
People see it. Sometimes you don't need financial support. You need other kinds of support. But you need support. You need some kinds of support. If somebody says to you, I did all this by myself, it's not a grateful person. Because,
absolutely.
I can't say I came to Berlin all by myself and did this, and I'm very proud of what I achieved so far to be here. And I'm very proud. I don't know many people who have the same resilience as I do. But to say that I did everything by myself is a myth, right?
Yeah.
So it's a dream that started in my head. You visualize your dream, you manifest that, but the manifestation doesn't come if it's just in your head.
Right. You still have to work for it, of course.
You have to work for it, but you have to become it.
Yeah.
So I became the dojo, so to say. Yeah. So I became my dream, and
So
I expressed that.
Act as if kind of it's already a reality.
Yes, but your heart, in your mind, in yourself, like you, let's say in your cells, in your body, you become that. So when you become that, then the world will look at you, and then they're gonna get together with you, and then this will work.
Yeah.
If it's just you believing you can do this all on your own, you start that.
Yeah.
But people need to be together with you in order to make it work.
Right.
And
you might be the seed, but you still need soil and nutrients and water and sunshine.
Exactly. You are the seed. Yeah. You have the ideas. You have everything, but you need a lot of other things to make it work. That's how everything works in life.
Yeah.
If you just this kind of person believes that you can do that all on your own, or if you tell the world that you did on your own, then you are not a grateful. No.
Yeah. You often talk about methods versus principles in training. That your teaching style is more focused on principles than methods.
Yeah.
Does this have anything to do with your engineering background?
It has to do with the way my mind works, actually. Yeah. I'm very bad at keeping facts or keeping instructions 1, 2, 3, 4.
Right.
Very bad at this. What I can do is to make associations, is to connect things from different, branching out and catch different things.
Right.
And what I can do is to make things very simple. Maybe that's like the engineering background helped me also develop that, but it's sometimes in me.
Right.
So
the reason I'm asking is actually because there's a very quite famous quote by an engineer that says, "As to methods, there may be a million and then some, but principles a few."
Exactly.
The man who grasps principles can successfully select his own methods. The man who tries methods ignoring principles is sure to have trouble.
Perfect.
It was by Harrington Emerson, who was an American efficiency engineer.
Perfect.
I think it was end of 1800, beginning of 1900.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Completely. It's already explained. Yeah. So if you put all the information in your mind, it becomes overloaded. It becomes like unnecessary. Like you're bloated with a lot of things in your head. You're not free to really create, or So if you understand how things work at the core, then you can. It might be slow, but you can come up with some more. As a custom, more solutions that are fitting to yourself. So what I believe in Jiu-Jitsu is like this. There are many ways of teaching. Now I agree with all they have their advantages, have this disadvantages, right?
Yeah. Something
so I'm not criticizing.
Say what I really like in this dojo is that our teachers, all of them have very different approaches,
exactly.
Which gives a very rounded, I think all of them have their place, and it's very beautiful. I embrace
that. I think that it's very useful to have people that think differently.
Yeah.
If you have all people just following what you do, what you say, becomes like a North Korea, the dictatorship. Yeah. I don't want that. It's like it's stupid. It just has a plateau. It doesn't go from there anymore.
Yeah.
If I tell every people to be exactly like me, then it doesn't. You don't have diversity. You don't have evolution.
Yeah.
So I like when people have different approach to things. So my approach is like, I'm not good at memorizing, classifying, and patternizing things and say like, this is the position called this, and this works with that, and systematizing like this way. What I prefer doing is reduce things into common patterns and associate them with different things.
Yeah.
So this
It's good because it also, if you find yourself, say for in Jiu-Jitsu, you practice a few positions and you know what to do in these positions, but then you end up in a position or a situation where you're not in very often. If you only have the tactics or the methods for those positions that you're used to, but not the principles, you'll be lost in the other situations.
Okay.
But if you have principles, then even if it's a new situation, the principles, if they're good principles, will probably work in that situation.
They probably
too.
work. And one thing, maybe doesn't work now, maybe you're gonna lose or tap, but you have the tools to reflect and solve the problem.
Right.
So this is not gonna happen
Based on these
this way anymore.
principles, what methods could I have used, or what
And
could I create?
Exactly. If you are just focused on the instructions, on the first, this is very slow in your brain, I believe, because there's a lot of processing there to recall that information. So once you are just in tune with the core, it's easy for you just to find a kind of a reaction, a moment, just to respond very quickly.
Yeah.
So if you are bloated with information of 10 different techniques for, if you have a toolbox with full of tools, what tool should I choose just to use the screw here? I know.
Right.
Better understand, like look at the screw and say like, this kind of screw, I think I know what the tool it is. The tool should be like that. And so you have a much more understanding of instead of having so much that you don't know what to pick up.
Right.
And what I see people nowadays like this, like I train with many people and I still feel they are choosing what technique should they pick up, and you look at their eyes, it's like, come on, your processing is very slow.
Right.
You're not reading the situation, not reading the body, you're not you're not trying to understand what's going on. You are trying to pick up one solution, and it's not the way it does. Math
That's
problems.
also how we learn, though. Like, I guess, especially if you're new to it, that's how you learn in the beginning. It will be slow, and then the more you do it, the more it becomes second nature.
And math problems, they always change. You have you learn some patterns on how to solve an equation, but any equations are different. And if you have to understand how to apply one thinking and then solving them.
Yeah.
See and identify patterns, make things easier, sorting out the mess, and then solving them. If you try to memorize every equation, you cannot survive like that.
Yeah.
So that's the way I used to think. And I also believe that if I giving those instructions, those patterns, it's easier for the person just to respond quickly and not be completely lost. So just be sure you get the core idea, and then your body responds very quickly. Yeah. That's for me much useful than now in this situation you're gonna. That's why, for example, self-defense, I criticize this. Yeah, you go to a seminar and you're gonna learn those techniques.
Oh yeah.
No, man, I felt that when you are under stress,
you
cannot think, man. It's
especially not if you just do a few seminars too. And that's all. I almost think it's dangerous in one sense, because if it comes down to it, you have this false sense of security that's just gonna fly out the window.
That's those. You should just have some gross motoric reactions. You have to be, we can drill them. Of course,
just run.
Yeah. But I mean, if you are cornered, or if
of course.
So you can't use techniques for that. I mean, techniques are good as a model.
Yeah.
So you use a model to understand something. But people identify with the model. They think that the model is the solution. No, the model is not the solution, man. It's just a model, a technique. When you teach in the class, it's just a model. Don't take that and try to do that the way it's being taught. Like, no, just use this as a model.
Yeah.
That's the way I see.
ChatGPT.
Mm-hmm.
I know you're a fan.
Yeah, I love him. Yeah.
How much of this dojo has been built by ChatGPT?
No, not so much.
Or
No.
not built, but should we say designed?
No, not so
so
much.
much,
Not so
no.
much. Well, I use the GPT more to help me out sorting my own thoughts. For example, I'm using a text to speech to text. For example,
Is that built into ChatGPT as well?
exactly.
You had the pro version, right? I don't have the.
So
I'll
yeah,
use the free one.
probably I have. What I do, I walk on the streets and I have an idea, right?
Okay.
And I'm very chaotic. I have a different. It's difficult to organize. So what the AI is doing, helping my mind to organize my ideas. So it's like the assistant for me. Just say I have a thought about spirituality, whatever. Then I start talking, blah blah blah, blah, and say, please organize this so I can read and I can understand what I mean.
So I can understand myself.
Yeah. Of course, this helps me with the bureaucracy to translate. If I'm non-German and writing formal German emails is a disaster, so it's helping me with that.
I can say for anyone interested though that it's not very good at translating Portuguese slang from the favelas.
No, probably not. No, it's not there yet. But yeah, it's becoming. It's more like my assistant, assistant to help me, especially organize my head, all of my thoughts. So, for example, since I don't know 5-6 years, I'm writing a book that is never ready because never done because it's always changing, evolving. So
That's
I'm using
cool,
2 years already since 2021. I guess 2022. I don't know.
What is it about?
When GPT started, I started using also to organize, and then asking like, okay, so this can be here, this can be there. Help me with that. What this fit, please, because this piece of information is repeating. I wrote since 2000 and whatever, the same thing all over again. So he checks the whole text and say, you repeat it. Okay, so I can change.
What is the book about?
About everything. It should be because I started. It's my diary. I record my thoughts.
It's a kind of life philosophy book and all kind of things.
See, I am a curious guy. I learned something and I'm so excited with that. And then I record written. Or I have an insight. That is amazing. I walk in the street. I had this like, wow.
Right.
And there was a lot of paper and Jiu-Jitsu, of course, a lot of the insights about Jiu-Jitsu. So it's a lot of paperwork, and then I put into text in the computer, and then I had some audio recordings as well. And I'm working on this material, so AI is helping me a lot with this because otherwise it's a mess. And now finally, after 1.5 years using it, I feel I have some progress already. I can read stuff and I can say, okay, so now this is going this way, this going this way, this going this way. And then sometimes it takes my text and do something completely different. And I come, no, this is not me. I didn't write this.
Right.
I just want you to organize it.
Too much creative freedom.
Yeah, and I want you just to take what I say, just this, maybe correct the spelling, but don't change the meaning, man. Come on. And sometimes I scream and start discussing with you, stupid. And I say, I'm screaming at myself. Thanks for being my therapist, So, yeah. I think we have a place for technology, definitely. If it doesn't kill us, it's gonna save us. But we need to be wise with that. So,
do you think there will be an AI-driven robot that you can grapple with?
Let's hope. It will be amazing. Imagine.
For practicing.
Imagine. That would be amazing.
I've seen some already. There are some dummies. They're not smart as in they fight back, but they have some sensors so you can choke them out and things. And it comes a little green light and you get a little sound if the choke is correct. And their joints crack and stuff. That
would be good. I mean the servo mechanism, like the way they move, right, is still nowadays we are very since the beginning of since the creation, the discovery, or what's the name, the invention of the transistor, we didn't evolve much. That's my opinion. What we're doing is just building things over the like computer, amazing, internet, amazing, smartphone, but this is just based on the same thing. So we kind of stuck, but we are tuning our technology. We are in a plateau. We're not we're not traveling faster than light yet, but we are in a plateau, right? So, but you are evolving somehow inside that plateau with the internet, with
it's interesting. I've never heard that. I don't think I've heard that thought before. I think most people would say that we're evolving crazy fast.
No, I think the transistor was the biggest invention, but everything's built upon it, right? So the computer, for example, is built upon it, and the internet is built.
So you mean there's no new entity, so to speak, as a new. To go to the biological sphere, it would kind of be as a new species, but there haven't been a new species in the technological sphere. It's not a new species,
it's just the species being specialized. So internet is built upon computer, the smartphone is built upon internet, and the computer and the social media is built and the transactions, like money transactions on internet is built. So it's
what about quantum computing?
This might come, and this might revolutionize. This might be quantum computing will be I'm looking forward. I hope I can see this alive. Quantum computer, like really working in my desk.
I was working on a tech startup conference yesterday, and there was one company there that pitched quantum computing, and I think they aimed at having it more useful in like 2040, I think was their goal. But it's still so huge because they need to work in cold environments. That's the thing. So they need cooling. So
But see,
but that's what you mean with like a new technology. Because that's kind of a completely new way
of dealing with reality. Exactly, like the material sciences as well. Like really having a real, nanobots, and they could also
that's scary though, when they come into your body and stuff.
That's the thing, man. We have to just be wise. These things are not scary. Like a knife is not scary. It's just we are scary because atomic energy, nuclear energy is just a salvation of mankind.
It's like the Neuralink you saw, right?
Exactly. All these things.
They just got it going like a few weeks ago, and the guy did was like play this Civilization, I think, his computer game.
Okay.
So it was like he always wanted to play that. They never found a good way to do it because he had, I don't know if he had no arms or whatever it was, but he was like seriously handicapped. And the first thing he did was playing Civilization for 4 or 6 hours or something. He just controlled the whole screen with his mind,
Crazy, man.
Just like he just thought what the mouse gonna do, and with his mind, just Bluetooth chip in his brain, just going to this Neuralink.
I'm up for it. I'm not a technophobic at all. I think this can, all these things. See that's the point. All these things can be good.
Yeah.
It's just the way we deal with them, it's a danger. So we need to change ourselves, not change the technology. It's a good thing. And, like nuclear energies, like if you think about nuclear fusion,
it's amazing.
What can be done when we achieve it, which is we're not there yet. Now we are progressing into nuclear fusion, but
it's a good example of the nuclear power. Like you have nuclear plants giving a lot of power. You also have nuclear bombs.
That's the thing. Why do you want to destroy yourself with that? You know. So you can use AI also to power machines to kill people. But why you want to go to that path? You know, if you can use things to improve your condition. But this is the human path. This is a human question. You know, this is something that needs to be changed inside. It's not. I see a lot of people questioning or being opposing technology and progress. I say, no. I guess.
I don't think there's any point in it. Even if you don't like it, it's like just stop it because it's gonna come anyway.
Why should I fight against the knife and say knives are bad? No, man. I cook my dinner with the knife.
Right. Yeah.
So
Yeah, true.
You cannot attack the weapon, attack the user and say like, no, the user needs to change his behavior towards the tool. No, so that's the way I see all these things.
Yeah, cool. I think we discussed a little bit about just you having ideas about things. You also co-developed the previously known Strive app. Now it's renamed to MAT. MAAT.
Yeah, exactly. I started with the idea.
Were you one of the initial in the initial phases of?
Yeah, I had this idea of managing the app from us, and then I also developed the beginning. It was managing the subscriptions.
Were you coding then, or just going with ideas? So what was your part?
I was coding.
Okay.
It's like, I had to learn Python for that because I was doing this all in Python. But see, if you learn also principles,
right?
Learn how to work with algorithms, and then you learn a language.
Right.
Yeah, that wasn't a problem to learn it. But then of course it was too much because my daughter was born. My first daughter was born. And then I found those guys and I say, look, I have this idea, and they already had their idea also in the development. And then it came with my suggestions. I showed my code also to them, and then they shared.
So did you sell it up to them, or
no?
The transition go?
We just share the stuff. We share ideas, and they developed. They were already a bit ahead of me anyway.
Right.
And then I decided to go to them.
So you both started on the same thing basically, but completely independently, and then you came together. And
and they were a bit ahead of me as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But I wasn't planning to commercialize it. I was just planning to solve my own problem.
Right.
You know.
Is it? Do you know? Is it big now? Because it's a very good app.
Yes,
Are they
it's
selling
growing.
Is it used a lot?
Yeah, they're selling now. Some gyms already having also in Germany, I guess.
Right. So for anyone that doesn't know, the MAT app is just a map for gyms.
Exactly.
Is it just Brazilian? Any martial art gym, I guess.
Any martial arts, Jiu-Jitsu, I guess. Mostly Jiu-Jitsu.
Where members can sign up and they manage their subscription there, their payments, and they can also manage attendance for classes and stuff like this. And it's very, very clean, very easy to use app. I really like the interface.
Yeah, they are going very well. I think I have many suggestions. I annoy the guys all the time because I have so many ideas. And
so you're still partly involved in one way then.
My way of doing this now just annoying them and asking for new stuff.
Right.
Asking for new features all the time. Say, come on, implement that. So and then sometimes I get annoyed. It's like, come on, they're too slow in implementation. Man, I start my own app again. Come on. And I said, no, I don't have time for that. I have to prioritize stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Let's see how they develop. I hope they implement the stuff I want. So
yeah, we'll see. I saw a post, I think it was on Instagram or something, that also go back a bit to you saying that you had the vision of the dojo in 2011, something like that, 2007. You said.
No, 7 I was in Brazil.
2011, I think
probably,
you said. Yeah. And this, I think it was on Instagram, said that. You are now where you imagine yourself to be 10 years ago.
Exactly. Yeah.
So where do you imagine in the next 10 years? In another 10 years, where will you be?
I'll be like this kind of, I play with my wife all the time about this. I'll be like this kind of Gandalf. With my
that's my goal.
With a big hat somewhere.
My father almost looks like that actually. He lives in the forest now with his long hair.
He's a hat.
And he's just reading conspiracy stuff, and that's like his whole life now.
Yeah, maybe I end up like that as well. Let's see. So, I just focus on my daughters now. Making them grow, keeping the dojo as nice
you have
as
to do for the next 10 years.
Exactly. That's my project now. Keeping the dojo as it can be, as nice, as clean, as perfect, beautiful as it can be. And when my daughters are growing, then I can adventure in other things, maybe doing different stuff. Of course, keeping the dojo alive, of course, but maybe focusing on the projects. I have some music stuff that I want to finish.
Do you still play a lot now?
Not
now and then?
with my kids, no.
No.
But I have some concepts of some melodies in my head, and I say, oh, maybe I can record it, So I have some kinds of things recorded.
And you play guitar, that's your
play
main.
guitar,
Yeah.
I play some different instruments as well.
Okay.
But do some recordings of my music. Maybe finish the book.
I've been thinking about doing a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu metal song.
Yeah, I mean,
just a bit humoristic,
I mean,
could you do some cool power chords?
I can.
New metal
I have ideas. I have some ideas. So
we'll get back to that someday.
Do some more of the things I'm more interested in doing, but I need more time and freedom for that. So basically just keeping on doing things I like.
Right, well, that's good. What else is there to do?
Basically, and that's amazing, because I'm not sure many people can say that, and then I'm very, very happy that I can say that I'm right where I imagine I wanted to be.
Yeah, that's really amazing.
And
that's really cool.
And nothing more, nothing less. Just,
and how old are you now? 30, end of 30s?
I'm 39.
39, yeah. So, I mean, that's I don't think everyone can say that at that age.
Everyone can say like, oh, you are the person you imagine you wanted to be, and your life is running exactly the way you wanted to run. You work the way you wanted to work. Maybe I will be 5 kilos less.
Right.
That's something I'm not.
As soon as you get just a little bit older, you probably you'll lose
but
it
everything else is good. Yeah.
Will there be any white and blue belt challenge this year?
See, I'm planning. I just need.
That's a competition that's been done yearly, by the way, for anyone listening.
Because it's very good, engage people, and I like the vibe, and there's somehow a way of transport this vibe I try to create on the outside. And just need some sponsors. So if you have some sponsors, some people sponsoring.
If anyone's listening out there, get in touch with Rodrigo Fernandes.
Yeah, I have.
Just email the dojo.
Yeah, I have big plans for the challenge. Just need sponsors.
Right. Website again is bjjj.berlin.
bjjj.berlin. Yeah. Just write me. I have partners, business partners. I mean, I talk about business, so
right.
Yeah, just thinking about this. Who can I pick up for business?
Yeah.
So I create a business model for the challenge. And,
cool.
Let's see. I'm just thinking about that.
Yeah. And last thing for all beginners out there, what advice do you have to give to anyone new to the sport? Anyone new to the sport. So you arrived at Jiu-Jitsu, amazing. You are in the right place. Just hold on. I mean, it can be hard at the beginning. You're gonna suck. I'm still an idiot. I'm still learning. I heard this. I don't think it was a big Jiu-Jitsu player, but it was some police officer or something in the States, and they said on another podcast, and they said, Jiu-Jitsu is a sport for people that are okay with sucking. Yeah, but definitely yes. Like if you come in and you're not used to, you need to be comfortable in knowing that shit takes time to learn, and you're gonna suck forever. You're gonna suck forever. There's always gonna be something in the life you suck. Yeah, on. but realize that and accept it. Good. I like that as well. Yeah. So if you want a fixed mindset, if you think I get to a point and I learn and I know everything, there's nothing for you. But very likely Jiu-Jitsu will break your ego as well at the beginning, because you might be successful in your job, but then you come here and you're gonna suck forever. So that's a good thing. That's the best sell point I've ever heard. Come here because it will suck forever. Don't let resistance kills you and puts you on the couch and not bring you to the gym. So you have to come and train. I mean, it's a perfect metaphor for life, right? If you want to achieve anything worthwhile. Exactly. Just shut up and shut up your mind. Sometimes you don't want to just show up and train. That's this myth that you can learn on the internet, and many people calling this, but this is a myth. Don't fall into this trap.
the only way of learning jiu-jitsu is on the mat. You have like you have some help on some ideas from instructionals. It's very valuable, but don't fall into this trap. Don't fall into this trap. Jiu-jitsu is a personal thing you develop in yourself. You might be the superstar. You might suck forever, but it needs to be yours. You need to be authentic with that. So you can only achieve this through practice on the mat. Coming, trying, losing, feeling in yourself, not watching a video and say, that's how it's done. Oh, I have a solution for that. No, that guy had the solution for that. It's amazing, creative. He figured that out.
But it might not be your solution.
It's not your solution. Your solution is you're gonna lose, you're gonna tap, you're gonna feel, you're gonna reflect, you're gonna improve, and then one moment you're gonna make it.
No.
Or not make it at all, but it's your journey, it's your struggle. Don't copy anyone. Don't get addicted for that, for getting a solution like that. You have to struggle for that. You have to suffer and put your mind, your heart and everything to solve that. So that's important. Don't fall into this trap. The internet is full of people trying to sell stuff and you fall into that. No, don't fall.
Cool. We've covered a wide range of topics.
Yeah.
Amazing. Do you have anything you want to add?
Yeah, show up and train.
Come and train.
Show up, come and train. That's it. We're gonna meet on the mat. We're gonna meet here. That's the most honest place to be is here. If you are good, if you are bad, if you don't matter, if you're ugly, if you're beautiful, the ground will always equalize everybody. So just come train. And
introduction classes are on Friday evenings and Wednesday evenings too?
Friday evenings and Wednesday evenings.
Open mats on Saturday, 12 to 2 o'clock.
Exactly. Just come by.
Cool. Thank you so much for coming this morning, Rodrigo.
Yeah,
taking the time out of your busy schedule.
Yeah, I have to go now. Yeah, we finish right. Correct.
Yeah. For anyone else out there listening, please do all the social media stuff. Comment, like, subscribe. It means a lot, especially for a channel that just started. It does help the algorithm. So, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Time to live. Thank you, Fritz.